Good Thursday, and thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the northern mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the in-depth analysis video forecast discussion for Thursday. A busy weekend ahead with Tropical Storm Andrea, coming up the coast. And this is for Thursday, June 6th, 2013. Light southeast winds this morning and some patchy fog across Long Island and southern New Jersey, right along the immediate coast, where visibility is in southern New Jersey down to about a quarter of a mile at Millville and Atlantic City. And the skies are generally cloudy elsewhere. There are broken clouds across Pennsylvania, but most of these clouds are, most of this is stratus clouds, as we have a temperature inversion and some of the moisture increasing from well to the south and east, well ahead of Andrea. Is moving in some low-level moisture underneath the inversion. So we do have some fog this morning and some low clouds and stratus elsewhere. Temperatures this morning are generally in the mid-50s across the Hudson Valley into the mid and upper 50s and around 60 degrees in portions of the Delmarva and also near Philadelphia this morning too. And the humidities are quite high as a result of that because the dew points are just around where the temperatures are this morning as well. Water vapor and surface analysis for the United States this morning shows Andrea here getting closer to the western panhandle of Florida. It's still offshore, it's weak, but Andrea will be moving up and over the outer banks of the Carolinas and then just south and east of Delmarva by Friday night, and then well to the south and east of Nova Scotia by Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, we have an inverted trough of low pressure developing, and the red lines here are theta. So we're finding a theta E ridge here developing. So moisture is increasing on the west side of this ridge here off the northeastern Atlantic coastal areas, pumping in a southeast wind. Low level moisture increasing under the temperature inversion, and we're kind of sandwiched in between the ridge here to the east and this developing trough and surface low here across the Ohio and Tennessee Valley, and this theta E ridge, which is pumping in more moisture across the region just to our west, with showers and thunderstorms developing there. And we have another cluster of showers and thunderstorms developing across northern Texas and portions of Oklahoma this morning too. And of course we have Andrea here in the Gulf of Mexico and southwestern portions of off the coast of Florida. And that will be moving in our direction. All of this will be converging with some very heavy rainfall around here starting late Thursday night and overspreading the entire region during Friday night, and Saturday morning. No watches, warnings, or advisories yet for the area. We find a smattering of some low stratus clouds and some fog across portions of the region, especially out on Long Island and southern New Jersey's coastal regions this morning. There are breaks in the clouds here across the region. More cloud cover and rain just to our west now getting in. That's the inverted trough low pressure area that we talked about over the Tennessee Valley, and isentropic lift and theta E increasing the moisture plume in this region. And this is all moving from southwest to northeast and will be probably staying to our west until later tonight when some of this shower activity gets into northwestern New Jersey. Meanwhile, down towards Newport News and south of Virginia Beach, we have Chesapeake Bay, New Point, and Virginia. We have a tropical storm warning, and we'll get into all the details of that in just a moment. And this morning we do have Tropical Storm Andrea, advisory number 3. It's moving, heading towards the Florida western bend this morning. It's about 27 north, 85.9 west, about 220 miles to the west-southwest of Tampa. It's moving also at about sustained winds about 60 miles an hour. It's moving to the north-northeast at about 20 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour rather, and its minimum central pressure about 29.44 inches. Obviously, there's bands of heavy rain and thunderstorms here getting into the western west bend of Florida this morning. Lots of tropical storm warnings, flood warnings too for thunderstorms on the east side of Florida, and a lot of heavy rain moving in across portions of southeastern United States as well. This trough, tropical storm rather, will be moving to the north and east and maintaining its tropical characteristics, at least as a named storm, right through the Virginia Capes and possibly even off the Delmarva region by Friday night. Now, warnings, obviously, these are where all the warnings are. We have no warnings further north from Virginia north, but that may be changing a little bit as we get closer to later today, tonight, and early tomorrow morning. Now, as we mentioned, the storm Andrea is moving at 13 miles an hour with winds near 60 miles an hour, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to about 140 miles from the center. Preliminary to the east of the center, the latest minimum central pressure is 29.44 inches, and we're expecting it to maintain this strength until it reaches landfall during sometime tonight. Now, storm surge, the combination of the storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters, and the water could reach the following heights above ground. Tampa expecting to Apalachicola 2 to 4 feet, Florida's west coast south of Tampa 1 to 2 feet, and Flagler Beach north to Cape Charles Light 1 to 2 feet. And the deepest water will occur along and the immediate coast near and to the south of Florida location. A single surge or surge-related flooding depends on relative timing of the surge and the tidal cycle. Rainfall is expected to produce total rainfall amounts of 3 to 6 inches over much of the Florida peninsula, eastern parts of the Florida Panhandle, and southeastern Georgia, with isolated maximum amounts of up to 8 inches. Total rain accumulations of 2 to 4 inches are then expected over eastern South Carolina, eastern North Carolina, and southeastern Virginia. Tropical storm conditions are expected to first reach the Florida west coast within the Warren area later today, maxing out outside preparations difficult and dangerous. These conditions will gradually spread northward along the United States east coast during the next 24 to 36 hours. A few tornadoes are possible over the South Florida Peninsula during today, and the next advisory coming in at 7 this morning. Most of the model consensus this morning is now favoring a closer to the coast scenario for Andrea and the upper trough and surface trough here across the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes region, all merging and converging across the region during Friday and Friday night. Using the GFS, the rain from the western area here getting in from the western trough here. This is inverted trough here, low pressure getting in here this evening and overnight with some moderate rain showers occurring across the region. And then as we get through the day on Friday and Friday afternoon, this is where the storm now reaches the Virginia Capes and the Outer Banks of the Carolinas here, or Carolina itself. And some of the rain now on southeast winds is tropical rain. Raindrops are big, so we're expecting anywhere from between 2 to 2.5 inches of rain total from this evening right through Saturday night. Here comes the moderate to heavy rain across the region on Friday afternoon and Friday night. And as the storm really gets wound up here and merges with the whole system begins to merge with the trough out to the west, we find one consolidated low, and this is Andrea here. Across the Chesapeake Bay area on Saturday morning, late Friday night, Saturday morning. And this is where some very heavy rain could fall across these regions, leading to some urban and small stream flooding as well across the Delmarva and New Jersey and into Long Island. And we can see the rain plume getting into the Hudson Valley, interior Connecticut on the northwest side there. And as we get through the day on Saturday, the rain begins to lift out, but there's still troughiness here, and additional moisture and showers will get in here during Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, but they'll be a lot lighter as most of the moisture will be now swept away with Andrea. And then during the day on Sunday, skies should begin to brighten up as the trough axis moves off the coast. Andrea is now well south of Nova Scotia and away from the area, and we get a little bit of a break on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and Monday before the next system comes across the Great Lakes and introduces a warm front across the region, and more showers and thunderstorms getting in here on Monday afternoon and Monday night. And this trough, with the surface low over New York State, will produce more showers and thunderstorms throughout Tuesday morning, as well as it moves off the New England coast. And a relatively active weather pattern going into next week too. For the next 8 to 10 days, we find a ridge here on the European model, and to some extent the GFS model here south of the Aleutian Islands, and that brings a weak trough across or offshore the northwestern territories here into northwestern Pacific and northwestern United States, a flatter ridge across the central and southeastern United States, and a trough in the means still hanging back here across New England and the northern mid-Atlantic coast states. And that means that disturbances rolling under this trough here across the northwest will get into southeastern Canada and form cutoff disturbances and vortexes that will move through the general flow here across the region. So unsettled conditions through next week as well, with showers and thunderstorms as some of these disturbances rotate through the region. So get the rain gear ready because we've got some tropical rain coming in for late tonight through Saturday morning and scattered showers about Saturday afternoon, some clearing Saturday night and Sunday morning. Sunday actually looks like the better of the 2 days this weekend, but do be mindful. Some of this rainfall could be very heavy with local heavy downpours and even some embedded thunderstorms in the region as well. And that will add to the heavy rainfall. So be careful driving out there and do be mindful of all of this as we will be updating this throughout the day on Facebook and of course during the on the website as well with further updates and video forecast discussions here from Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com during tonight and on Friday. So for gardenstateweather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a good Thursday.